beautiful people, how's it going today? So I'm doing my best here to beat the wind a little bit. It's been just blowing almost non-stop for like 2 weeks, and I don't mean light gusts, I mean really big gusts. But hopefully I've got my camera set up and stable enough that you guys aren't going to fall over and we're not going to have any issues with the audio. But today we're obviously out on the homestead, and I will confess that it took me a little bit longer than I thought it would to get motivated to come out here today. And I wanted to talk to you really briefly about that, because sometimes I think on social media it can look like these social media people are always just so motivated. We want to get out there, we're constantly out in the garden, which all of that is true. We are very motivated people and we do enjoy being out in the garden, but there are times for all of us that we have to take a minute and rest and recharge ourselves, because it can seem very overwhelming. And that is true. It is very overwhelming. There's a lot that goes on here behind the scenes that you guys don't necessarily always see. Then there is the stuff that we are constantly sharing, information that we're trying to bring to you, things that will hopefully help you grow as gardeners yourself. And then we're also hoping to get feedback and to learn from you guys as well. So it can just get to be a little bit too much. And last week was a very busy week, on top of just general work and doing all of this care out here. We were doing our best to fight a crypto mine coming directly into our town. We're not talking on the outskirts, we're talking less than 7 miles from here, and the runoff would have come right behind our house. And we did win that, at least temporarily. We've got a reprieve. So it was a busy and emotionally charged week last week. So taking a little bit of extra time this morning just to feed myself a good breakfast. So feeding my body, feeding my mind, spending time with the Lord, and just getting my heart right before coming to you guys here is so important. And it's really important for anybody who is living this kind of lifestyle to take that time to rest and recharge, mentally, spiritually, and physically. So since we have done all of this, we are now going to do some seed starting. And we're going to be doing direct sown seed starting today. That is what we're going to be doing for this late morning vlog. So let me go on ahead and get you set up and into position. We're going to start with the magic runner beans, and then we'll move on from there. All right, here we go. All right, so we are starting off with our magic runner beans, and we got these from Perennial Permaculture. Now, we did attempt to plant these on a previous video last, late summer going into early fall, but we got a really random frost that we had no idea was coming, and it totally killed them. If we had had a nice Indian summer, which is basically a summer that goes clear up into November, beginning of December, which we have been known to have in our area, we probably would have had some magic runner beans. But let me show you. So they're roughly almost a ½ inch in size, some of these guys. And we are really looking forward to planting these. This is going to be a mixed bean. And so what we're going to do, and this is a good rule of thumb, okay? Good rule of thumb if you are planting seeds and you are new to planting. General rule of thumb is this, especially if you're a beginner and you're new to gardening. Now, this doesn't always apply to every single seed. Flower seeds would be a prime example of this, but in general, this is a good rule of thumb. However long your seed is, that's how deep you need to plant it. So if it's a ½ inch in size, you plant it at least a ½ inch maybe closer to 3/4 of an inch down, and the same and so on and so forth with other seeds that you either sow and try to grow on early in the year, or direct plant outside. Goes either way. So that's just a good handy rule of thumb if you're new to using seeds and you've just used plants previously. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take that seed and I'm just gonna kind of put it down in a little bit of a row here, trying to get them sort of evenly spaced as best I can. I'm not worried about it being perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we're gonna plant 7 in here, and I'm just gonna push it down about a 1/2 inch like so. And voila, we're done. That's all that there is to it. Okay, so one of our other favorites is going to be the Red Ripper pea. We love it because it grows really, really well and it produces really, really well. So we've been experimenting with the different dried pea varieties out there to see what is going to be the highest yield, the tastiest of all of the ones that we could get. And we've kind of settled on the Red Ripper as our overall favorite. It's got a nice meaty flavor, and when you're cooking it, it doesn't get mealy in texture. I know that sounds weird, but I really don't like a mealy texture, and neither does my mom. So these guys stand up really, really well in the cooking process and in the actual start to finish. So easy to care for. We really didn't have to do a whole lot of maintenance. We just put them in the ground and let them run, literally. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now let me show you what these look like. It's not gonna be a huge difference really from what you would see if you were to purchase these. So itty bitty little guys. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same process that we did with the Magic Runner beans for these guys. So let me put you on hyperlapse. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the wind here and, sorry, mohole. We're going to take a little break from the wind because we've got the greenhouse at our back, and we're going to plant our pumpkin seed in this area. Now, if you've followed our channel, you will recall that we had some soil contamination issue, and we've actually been using these beds to put some of that contaminated soil in, and we've been amending it and basically working to heal it and fix it. So part of that process and me checking to see how the soil is doing is going to include planting or direct sowing these pumpkin seeds. Now, we should know pretty quickly whether or not it is going to end up being good soil to plant in, because if there's still contamination in this bed particularly, the plant will stunt and then it will turn brown and die, especially those in the gourd family. It's kind of like green beans, tomato plants, cucumber plants. They'll shoot up real quick and then all of a sudden they'll stunt and then they'll die. And soil contamination can be one of those things that causes that. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to mix in this compost. It's already been amended with some mushroom mycelium complex and some biotone. A little bit of peat also has gone in here. And so now all that was left was really putting in this compost. So we're just going to get it all mixed together and we'll see what happens with this pumpkin. It'll be a good test to see where the soil really is as far as health and vitality. All right, I'm going to put you on hyperlapse for this super duper fun portion of the video, okay? Okay guys, so hopefully this is kind of translating here on the camera okay, but I've got basically like a little mound right here, okay, for where our seed's gonna go, which is right there in the very tippy top. I will probably come in with some basic topsoil from local garden center. I'll bring that back from work and then just fill in the rest of the bed just to give it a little bit more height and weight and just general basic nutrients. There's nothing wrong with topsoil in that regard, because this is not going to need any more compost or manure mixed in. So we are going to put in, I got this about 3 years ago, the Cherokee Bush pumpkin, and it is a space-saving pumpkin plant. Now I am actually going to put in 2 seeds just to make sure I get some good germination. So the seeds look like a pumpkin seed, like what you would take out when you're gutting one, which you can save those seeds even, guys, and plant those as well. And I'm just going to put them right there. Now I'm not going to worry about labeling this bed because that is all that is going in here. And fingers crossed, if the soil is as healthy as I think it is, we should have a nice pumpkin plant. Now it takes about 110 days total for this plant from seed to harvest, but it will, on a compact plant, deliver small carvable sized pumpkins, or pumpkins that you can use to bake down into puree, which is what I'm going to be doing. I make a pumpkin spice soap every year. It's a huge hit. So I'm hopeful that these guys will actually end up working out and I can save the pumpkin puree from our pumpkins and have that for our soap and also just for general eating. Because, I mean, you know, fall, it'll be that time of the year. All right, moving on to the green beans and the lettuce. Okay, so we've got our green stock grow tower here, all set up, completely amended, ready to go, and we're gonna plant some Desperado bush green beans in every other one of these tiers. So let me show you exactly how easy that is. Okay, so now that I've got you into position, I've got my green beans here. All I'm gonna do is put one in every single pocket all the way around, except for that one. That one has an onion set in it. Whew, wind, sorry guys. Okay. So we've got all of those guys in, and all I'm going to do, push it down, cover it up, push down, cover it up, push it in, cover it up, push it in, cover it up, and same there, that's it. Now all I'm going to do after this, after I get the entire green stock planted with these, is I am going to go on ahead and I am going to do a little bit of a top water. That's just to get the seed settled into the soil, but for the most part I'll be doing the top watering from the reservoir at the very tippy top all the way up here. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to plant lettuce in your green stock. Let's go. Now, as you can see, I have already gone on ahead and dampened the soil. This is just going to make it a little bit easier to get your lettuce seeds to germinate. And I'm just going to sprinkle all these little guys on the soil like that. Give them a light tap to set them in. And voila. Give your seeds about a week and you will start to see some germination. It is as simple as that, and don't forget to fill up each and every single pocket on your green stock. Use those pockets, people. They are gold. Okay guys, I think that's all I've got for you today. The only thing I have left to do is water everything in. I've already started watering on the green stock. So now I just need to water in all of the radishes and then our peas and our magic runner beans, and we should be good to go for the day. Oh, and also the pumpkin over on the side. But you know what? I'm really glad that I got myself up and moving and came out into the sunshine despite the wind, despite it all. I feel so much better after having been out here and getting some seeds in the ground and playing in the dirt. Even though I didn't feel like it initially, I feel so much better after being out here and just being in the dirt in the sunshine. There's nothing quite like it, and it is cheaper than therapy. So guys, garden. That's my advice for this video. I know this was kind of an odd one. I just had a bunch of odds and ends things that I needed to get seed sown out here. If you have any questions about direct sowing seeds, that's how I first started gardening, was direct sowing seeds. Go on ahead and drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any advice on direct sowing seeds, things that I maybe didn't touch on in this video, go on ahead and also drop a comment down below. I'd love to learn from you, and I'm sure everybody else who's hanging out here would love to learn from you too. So guys, as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.